Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about another new launch from Huda Beauty. She has released 4 mini palettes. These are the Obsessions palettes. I only got 3 of them, and the 3 that I got is the Warm Brown Obsessions, this guy here, and then I got the Smokey Obsessions. This is actually what is on my eye right now. And then I also got the Mauve Obsessions, this one here. The third one is the Electric Obsessions, and I will insert a picture so you guys can see. Honestly, I didn't really think I was going to end up using it that much. I have a lot of really bright eyeshadows, and I don't use them enough to really justify me buying another one, so I went with the 3 more natural toned ones. And what I did was I used all 3 of these already. I have 2 tutorials that will be going up at the end of the week using the warm browns and the mauve, but today I'm going to give you guys the review and this tutorial here. This will be the video that has the swatches, my thoughts on the palettes, and all that. The other 2 are just going to be using the other palettes, and if you want to just watch this eye look without seeing my opinion, this is when it starts. The price of these palettes are $27. You're getting 9 shades each with 0.05 ounces for a total of 1.3 grams each. Each palette is cardboard. It has the ingredients listed on the back, but there are no shade names for this, not on the outside or the inside, but you do get a nice mirror. These were meant to be travel size, so people are like, oh my god, they are tiny. They are tiny, but what I immediately thought of was the ones from MAC. So this palette right here are the MAC ×9 palette. This one in particular is the Semi-Sweet ×9, and these are the exact same size. So you see there, but you're actually getting more in the Huda palette than you do with the MAC palette, but the MAC palette is more expensive. This one is $32 and it only has 0.8 grams and each of the shadows is 0.02 ounces. But some might say that the actual component on this is a little nicer, but it doesn't have a mirror. I'm going to go through each of these palettes. I'm going to show you guys the swatches, and I'm also going to tell you how I feel about them. They are not all created equal. Let me go ahead and tell you that right off the gate. So I'm going to start off with the Mauve Obsessions. And this is what the palette looks like here. I personally find it to be a little bit more pink tone than I do mauve, but I'm not mad at it. This palette actually performed well. I did not have any trouble with it. Minimal fallout. These shades right here, like this one, can be a little chunky, but they go on the eyes well. Like the ones I have on right now, when they are applied wet, can be a little chunky. I feel like the mattes performed pretty well all across the board of which ones I used. This one right here I felt like was not as pigmented, but not too bad either. So I do like that palette. Now let's go on to the Smokey Obsessions. This is the one again that I have on right now. This one I think is my favorite of all of them, which I did not anticipate. What I love the most about this is it's a smoky palette, but it's not all gray tone. I love this shade right here being in the palette. You need a shade like this to really get a nice blown out effect without it looking just like too gray. So I truly appreciate this shade here. And again, with these shades, you're gonna get a little chunky if you're using Fix Plus, but they went on the eyes really nicely, so I can't complain about it too much. If you don't like that textured kind of look, I wouldn't use them wet. They work well still being dry, just not as intense. Mattes, again, all worked really well. This black, I was impressed. Like that black is a good black shadow. Did not expect that. So this one is definitely the favorite. If I was going to say pick up one, it would be the Smokey. This guy on the other hand, obviously this is the one I'm going to be the most drawn to. I love a warm tone palette, and this is the Warm Brown Obsessions. This has the least amount of shimmers in it, being it only has one in the center, and all the other ones are matte all the way around it. My biggest problem with this, it is a little powdery, but I don't mind a powdery eyeshadow. I'm not going to fault it as long as it has pigmentation, it blends, and it doesn't turn into nothingness. I can make this palette work, don't get me wrong, but I would not suggest it. I had a hard time keeping the color on my eye. I kept having to reapply, especially with this shade here. This one seems like it would be a pretty deep like red, and it turned into a weird pinky red orange on my eye. I didn't understand at all when I put that one on. I do, like, basically I like this center row. I love that they have this shade right here. In there you can set your all over your eye. It's a nice color theme, but this one was a fail for me. I would not say spend the $27 on this one, but the other two I did like. Overall, I think these are well priced. They're gonna be great for travel. I love that they have a mirror in there, even though they're a small palette. I loved the look I got with the Smoky and the Mauve palettes. I just thought they were gorgeous. The only one, like I said, the warm browns, yeah, pass on that one. But if you wanna see how I created this eye look, just keep watching. Nars 42 and the middle shade in the top row. I tapped off any excess because I want to make sure this is going on lightly, and then I will build it up as I go. I am using this shade as my transition, and I want this to be a pretty blown out look, so I'm really bringing this up like almost all the way to the brow bone, but just leaving a small gap there. I'm going to go ahead and take that same shade and run it along the lower lash line. I'm going to drag it down a bit more than what I normally would. I'm going to start defining the crease and the outer part here, but I'm also going to be taking the shade up quite a bit. Again, going to be a smoky look, so I want to exaggerate the shades a little bit. Again, taking that shade underneath the lower lash line. Wayne Goss number 17, first shade in the bottom row. I'm going to start this on the outer V and then define the crease some more. I'm going to build this shade up a little bit. Taking the black on a MAC 221, and again, further deepening up this outer V here. And again into the crease, but only halfway this time. MAC 212, and I'm going to take that black and start pushing it up against my lashes, but then bringing down the excess. Top row, last shade, and a MAC 242. This is dry. Just taking this in the center of the lid and then slightly over, and I will tap back over the edge with the black, but I want the silver in the front. I go back over that with it wet. I just want to see what it looks like. But yeah, definitely more metallic, but it did work well dry too. Silver shade wet already, and I'm going to pop this on the front half of the eye. Top row, last shade, and the Wayne Goss number 5. I'm going to pop this on my inner corner right here. I'm going to add a bit more of that silver right to the very inner corner. Then I'm going to do my mascara and liner and be done. Alright, so I finished off the eye look. I used my Via Veneto from Nars. I put in my inner rim. And then I used my e.l.f. cream liner as liner at the top. And then my lips, I have on the Dior Rouge liquid in number 614. And then on top, I have the Chanel gloss in number 716. But you guys, let me know, did you guys buy these palettes? What do you think of them? I actually really like my entire makeup look other than my highlighter. This highlighter, it made me mad because I was like feeling myself and I put this on. I was like, what? What is this? Don't ask me what it is. We will talk about it tomorrow. And I'm going to give it another shot. But if you want to see the other tutorials on the warm brown and see what I was talking about, as well as the Mauve Obsessions, they will be on later on in the week. So just keep an eye out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.